It's about 28 degrees outside. I just wanted to come up here and just start everything. Get everything running. Just to make sure it runs and starts. And this last week has been cold. I haven't had a chance to come up here. I just finally got a few days off. Finished up the sheetrock job. And anyway, I was given a free pass to the YMCA for 7 days, and I went ahead and did that. I took that offer, went over there, and I forgot one thing that I didn't realize. I don't know how to play basketball. So the first thing I did was, on my first day free pass, I went over and just was shooting some basketball. I thought it was a great way to limber up. Day two comes, that was yesterday. I go back to the YMCA and, well, I figured that routine was good for loosening me up, so I was getting better. I started making some hoops. For day one, I made no hoops. Day two, I made a bunch of hoops. And I was like feeling pretty good about myself until I did a big jump shot and fell and damn near broke my kneecap. I'm fine. It hurts like hell. And I'm glad I've gotten a lot of exercise being on my knees, you know, from putting in subfloors and flooring and, you know, painting and everything like that, that my knee is just bruised up. And I'm a wounded soldier right now, wounded warrior, and on disability. But I got it wrapped really good, no problem. It'll be fine. It's just gonna be like, you know, anything else, it's gonna take a week to get over. But the reason I came out here, there's another reason, is that I didn't realize that I've got everything done pretty much that I want to do and I'm going to do. Outside of putting up some more, you know, outbuildings along and in the back of the property, I'm going to build a little greenhouse right here. That's a perfect spot for a nice greenhouse. So what ends up happening is that all this farm equipment, and this is I'm gonna sell this stuff off. This is a 2-row bottom plow, heavy duty, by Everything Attachments. I went and picked it up. It's got the Hythe guide wheel in the back, and it's also got the two edge cutter wheels for the front. I just took it off because I found it's just easier to plow with just the straight up attachment. And as long as you keep your tractor straight, you're gonna make some perfect cuts. So you won't get nothing tangled up in your row cutters and your wheel, because they all sit pretty close. But anyway, paid $16.50 brand new for that. I've only used it twice, and I'll let it go for with the wheels, cutting edges, and all that, all the hardware that came with it. I'll let it go for $1,150. This rake, I get a lot of use out of it, but this is an older setup. Retail on that was $5.99. It's only missing one rake tooth, and everything else is serviceable. It's got a little rust, but I'll let that go for $195. Now the 2-row bottom plow, this row maker, I'm keeping this. This is by Everything Attachment. I'm definitely holding on to this. I'm gonna definitely hold on to this. That's just one of those things you never get rid of, is a box blade. I'm gonna go ahead and sell this. This is by Kodiak. It's a boom, 3-point hitch boom, rated at 1,750 pound load, and believe me, it'll hold it too. It's heavy duty. Now this was $375 brand new. This is in perfect shape. There's nothing wrong with it. $250. Okay, here's my pride and joy. Now I'm just gonna say this. This particular size is hard to find. There are a lot out there, but this is a fairly decent sized haulier. I've used it a lot. Now I got this thing on sale. This was $13.99. I bought it for $1,100. I might sell that for $1,000. Nothing wrong with this. All the parts, everything are there, pins, you got it. This is ready to go to work. Definitely selling the Bush Hog. Now this is a heavy duty Bush Hog. It needs some guide plates welded back on. And I mean, I've had this since day one. I've never serviced it, ever. I've never greased it. I haven't done anything to it. And I've used this thing for 4 straight years, and it cuts everything. So that's a great value. I priced that out. Now this is heavy duty. They were $1,299 brand new. This, as you can see, is an older machine, but I'll let that go for $650. Now that only needs skid plates, probably needs the oil changed, definitely needs to be greased. But as far as the frame, the deck, and the blade needs to be sharpened. There ain't nothing wrong with that damn thing. It'll still cut anything down. And I mean, 2 and 3 inches, it'll whack right through it, no problem. Okay, so that's what I need to do, is just consolidate down to stuff that I really only need. So the row builder, the box blade I'm keeping. Everything else is for sale at those prices mentioned. And oh yeah, I got something else, 2 other items that need to go that I won't have no use for. Because see, the excavator has basically replaced everything. It does all the work. This is for sale. A single row plow. All the hardware's there, pins. These go for about, oh, I don't know, what, $199? I'll sell it for $100. Now this is something everybody likes. It's right here. It's a single point sod buster. Okay, this is actually heavy duty. I hit a rock and bent this pin, so that's not a big deal to straighten out. The other one's fine. I've used it maybe 3 times. These sell for like, oh, I don't know, $149? I'll let that go for $80. And that's actually in good shape. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay. Those are just some items that I just don't need. I've had them since day one, and they all came in some sort of use. But now that I've got the land clear, I don't need them. And I'm not in the farming business, because to do anything with that, my food plot's done. All I need to do is just maintain it. So maintaining it with that row builder is all I really need. And then, you know, just keep the weeds out of it, and I can grow whatever I want to. It's already got all the rocks taken out. Now, the other part of this whole adventure out here was to ultimately do something with this land over here. All right. So what to do out there? I got 1.70 acres. Almost 2 acres sitting right there. Outside of my little picnic area all the way in the back. The road's pretty much established going in. And during the dry seasons, you can drive all the way back there. So no problem. You can go all the way to the back where I've got that tent and my little party area way back there, okay? So you can see the tent back there. Now, all this land over here, I've already created the culvert, the drain system, the washout area is establishing itself, diverting the water off this property down into the ravine, okay, where it needs to go anyway, where it's gonna go. So that gives me a nice chunk of land over here between the washout, and then this is the separation of the land is the rest of it back there. I'm definitely gonna put another small house all the way in the back. That like a little small rustic log cabin. I've been talking about it for a long time, and that's the ultimate plan. Because when it comes right down to it, this whole aesthetics with the barn like this set up over here, it's just rustic. So to continue that look all the way back there, a nice rustic building would be just, you know, an old barn, that'd be great. Little farmhouse, whatever. Here's my buddy. He thinks I got some food. Of course, when Red comes over, Whitey always comes over. How's it going, my friend? You doing good today? Yeah, look at that. I don't have anything, but you know me. You're a good horse. Okay. Hey, Whitey, what's going on? He's got a thick coat, a really thick coat on him. So they don't even put a blanket on him and he's fine. Look at that. Look at that coat on that horse. Or pony, I should say. Okay, guys. Let me wrap up this video, okay? I'll talk to you later. Sorry I don't have any treats for you. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, this video is gonna be longer because this was the ultimate strategy I had, is use what I had up there to get this place all knocked out and landscaped, and you know, the trees, whatever, you know, make it, clean the place up, you know, just get it to where it's workable. So now I got it to that point. So selling off this other stuff, what I'm going to use that money for, if anybody's interested, like I said, everybody knows who I am. You got my phone number. If anybody's interested in those items, just let me know. Just give me a shout out. But I'm going to take that money and probably, you know, the one thing I need to do is start putting some storage down here. That's the big thing. I need more storage on the other end of the property. So that's what I've been debating. Instead of building the little house, which is great, but I need something down here, like a freaking shipping container is what I need. You get what I'm saying? I need to put a shipping container or another storage building right there in that group of trees. So I can start bringing supplies and, you know, just doing, I need a shelter down here is what I need, a shelter. I think that might be my next project, is I've got to build me another shelter down here. And it's got to be fairly sizable. And I've got the perfect spot for it. Because ultimately what's going to happen is that, in fact, that's my site right there. You can see it right here. That's where we're going to put a nice little weird tree right there. So I think that's the spot. And it goes perfect with the slope over here. This is on the high ground. And then I've got my picnic area all the way in the back by the creek. Yeah. So that's the ultimate plan now. The other part of the property is pretty well staked out. So this place is cleaned up. I got a pile of trash there, no big deal. Just burn that off one day. But it's all ready to go. Because a lot of stuff in the news lately is about affordable housing. And it's a big topic. especially with the growth of Raleigh and Durham. So with Raleigh being the #1 destination for homeowners, land, houses, new developments are going up. Things are selling. It's definitely a seller's market. I've been working on my house in Raleigh, upgrading it. I did a lot of work on it yesterday. Caulking all the bathrooms, just cleaning everything up, painting a lot of boo-boos in the ceiling. I had a water leak, fixed that. Painted the ceiling, got all that, looking back to new. So I'm fixing that up because ultimately they say, with people, the average price of a home now, you can't buy anything under $250,000. So $250,000, and you really don't get much there, even at that price. So the ultimate decision I was making years ago was to have this place that I can always, just plan B. Plan B has to be cheap. And sorry, my knee hurts still a little bit. I'm a little bruised. But that's plan B right there. 392 square feet. And I only pay taxes out here. So this place cost me $35 a month. That would be probably the cheapest somebody could live in 392 square feet. I got some siding that fell. Shit. Gotta fix it. All the way across too. Damn. All right. And there's another 350 to almost 400 square feet right there of storage. There's another 120, 140 square feet, plus the new outhouse. And for me, I'm ultra fiscal conservative. So I look at everything. I tore up all my credit cards. This Kubota, I've got 9 more payments on it and it's done. Everything else out here is paid for except that Ford truck. Oh yeah, still owe a shitload of money on it. But at least I got the cash to pay that off if I had to. But that would put a dent in my savings. So let's go ahead and sell this stuff over here. That way I can get more material. And here's the thing about materials. I got this stuff is laying out in the weather. And this is some premium lumber in here. That's that old heart pine lumber that I managed to salvage 5 years ago, and it's still hanging in there. And I got some big cypress logs. In other words, some big 6x6. There's a lot of expensive lumber right there, and I gotta get it underneath something. So, and get it off the damn ground. It's off the ground, but still, I need to stack the stuff. So much to do, so much to think about. Yeah, so much to think about. And the big attraction out here is this whole thing. I have not even thought about, really, when it comes down to it, what I'm gonna do with this 2 acres up front. All I do is just keep the grass cut, and that's it. Actually, weeds. But there we go. This could be a home site, but then I would have to be on grid to do that. Have to pull all the permits, perk tests, all that shit. Spend a bunch of money to put another house right there and have another mortgage. I don't know about that. I got that, it's free. I got a lot of money in it, but that's okay. Actually, not really that much. And people ask me all the time how much I paid for it. I bought it at auction for $2,500. Okay, it was a shell, except for the siding and the roof. What you see is what I saw at the auction right there, except the inside was just frame, okay? An open cavity. Paid $1,000 to the guy to haul it up here. We set it up. So there's 35. I completely did the inside, completely redid the inside. Insulation, you know, all the stuff that you've seen over the years that I've done to that little house. I probably got in real money 10 grand in it, in real cash. All the furniture and all that other stuff was pretty much free. And the rest of it I built from everything I salvaged. So I got $10,000 in a custom building right now that should go on the market. If I sold this as in the tiny house series, it would run probably about $30,000. Give me your opinion on that. Now remember, this could be detached. It's only bolted right up there at the header. It's not bolted in at the footing. So this could be pulled out on skids, but this is a big, heavy ass building. So I'll just warn you there, but I'm not selling this. See, the thing, this is plan B. Plan B is being able to have affordable housing. This is what the big issue is in Durham right now, trying to get the small housing concept going. So there it is. There's the small housing concept. That's just my version of a conversion of a shed. The rest of this stuff is bonus area, okay? This is just a party area, which all this rock, all this stone, everything was free, every bit of it. Paid not at one dime for any of it. Because this is all the projects that I did over the years. I collected this stuff when I had the landscaping business. It's not perfect, but it's a lot of damn stone, okay? a lot of free stone everywhere. And created this little picnic area. Now, the other thing that I had going on at one time was at the end of this deck was an old RV. Right here in this space. You can pull right on up with an RV, and there's your deck right there at your entrance. Perfect. That was the whole concept here. A parking space. This is rental. Uh-oh, here we go. RV rental space. And have your own exterior party deck. There we go. This space is available. Just give me a call. You know my number. We'll work out a deal. And then you got the use of the barbecue pit area. So this is the off-grid Airbnb again. It always comes back to that. So really, if you want to maximize your retirement benefits and realize that sure you have to rough it, you're going to rough it a little bit out here, but when you're on a pension of $700 or $800 to $1,000 a month, and you can come out here and make it on $500 a month, it's not a bad damn option. And how many people would just give their left damn arm to be able to find, let alone a comfortable place? Look at all the homeless people, a comfortable place to sleep and an area to hang out. That's very, upscale. It's not really, you're not talking about, living somewhere underneath a bridge. That you got your own area up here is pretty secure. It's fenced in. It's, you got your own compound, and you're paying $35 a month for it. So where in the world, and I challenge anybody, where in the world can you have 4 acres, have all this infrastructure put in place, and pay only $35 a month? Find it hard to believe. Well, guess what? Believe it. Because that's all I pay. Because it's all set up through the corporation. And the original deal that I got on it. Now, do I have a lot of money invested in this place? Absolutely. The fencing alone. Even though you know I got a lot of the lumber really, really dirt cheap. But all the posts, the fencing that went into this project, you know, you're talking easy $6,000, and that's conservative. That's conservative. Have that much fencing put up, and it's everywhere. You know, this whole compound's secure now. 360 perimeter is fenced in. Okay. The topic of this video really is this past 5 years that I've been out here, everything had a rhyme and a reason to it. And I figured that if I can just hang in there and not kill myself doing this project, that I could realize that when it comes to survival, preparing for life, prepping, your ultimate thing is to be able to have rural land that when it came right down to it, that you got it so cheap and you can live so economical. And if you're smart and you have to be out here full time, if you're full time out here, guess what? You'll be thinking of everything: water, sewer, food, you know, fuel, heat, showering, you know, just everything. You have to think of everything. So there's the challenge. If you can handle it. Now remember, I've done this, it took me 5 years to put this place together from nothing. And it's just every weekend coming out here and doing, or weekday whenever I had a day off, just come out here and put all this stuff, build it, you know, just build it. It's been a long journey. But now I want to shift gears and really shift gears and focus in on two things. Get rid of this stuff right here that I don't need. And build some new storage space out there. Probably sell off the International and try to get a skid steer, because I ultimately need a skid steer out here, or for the business. That is just absolutely the truth. I have to get a skid steer, and I'm waiting to pay off that Kubota, and I'm gonna try to sell this thing. I got too much in it, you know that, but it works, and they're rare. So trade that in, basically sell it and get a skid steer, a used one, if I can find another deal like this. But you know what? Skid steers are a lot more expensive than excavators, especially the minis. Just found that to be the truth around here. Okay, all right, this video is long enough. That's basically, this is the 2020 resolution for this place, and my resolution to myself is to get all this put together in exactly 4 years. 4 years from now, I can retire, full retirement, or I can retire right now at 75%. That's the decision that I can make right now, and then have a financial cap on me for the next 4 years, which I don't like that. So I'm gonna have to wait till 66. But as soon as I hit 66, this has all got to come together. No matter what I do, no matter how I play it, no matter what I build or don't build, whatever the future is, I've got to make it happen in exactly 4 years. So plan B will be in full motion. I don't have to worry about anything. I just come out here and I live. I have the equipment, the business, the tax bill is cheap. And as long as I stay off grid, I'll live next to nothing here, except for, you know, things that you got to spend money on: taxes, insurance, gasoline, food, you know, supplies. But if you're smart, you can grow your own food up to a point, have some livestock, pretty much everything you need, and make this land totally self-efficient, totally self-sustaining. completely still off grid if you choose to run that direction, if you want to run into that direction. But if you don't, you're just going to spend more money in taxes, inspections, and requirements, and everything else. All right. Leave those comments. This is long. And again, I'm going to probably title this video, some sort of resolution video, a 2020 resolution video. Because remember, this is the last year of Trump. We either keep him in or they're going to vote him out. So based on that, in November, I want to make sure that I too am ready for whatever scenario happens. Because it's like anything else. That's what preparing is all about. You guys stay blessed, stay tuned, and welcome to my channel. This is Prepper Life, me, Tom. I'm the co-host, just showing you what one man's dream, one man's accomplishments can do, and try to hopefully inspire the rest of you to get prepared. Y'all have a blessed day. Tom out of here.